Hello everyone, happy end of March, beginning of April. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. We are currently looking at our second update for our 2021 Those Eyeshadows. I don't know why I always say our, as if you're doing this exact same thing with me. This was a very exciting month. As I predicted, I did pretty well. If you haven't watched my last video, go ahead and watch that so you know what I'm talking about. I'll link it in the description box. But yeah, I'm super excited to just get right into it. I'm really excited about this new way that I've decided to do this, where I'm always gonna have 6 palettes in use at all times. Like, I'm not gonna double up shadows in palettes, so that I have a wider variety of palettes to kind of focus on that month. And this month, that has been so cool. Super exciting, and I just feel like I'm getting a lot more use out of my collection, so I want to keep that going for as long as I can. The first shade that I'm going to talk about is Cleopatra in the Nubian 2 by Juvia's Place. Let me show you what that was looking like last month. And this is what it looks like today. So yes, I have Pan and Cleopatra. I was able to use it a few times as a liner, which was great. Yeah, I don't usually do dark shades, but the dark blue with my color story in general was really nice. I'm gonna start swatching, you know, like someone who actually makes YouTube videos. There is that shade, super reflective, super pretty. So yeah, that was a lot of fun, but we hit Pan. The next shade is called Ice Cold from the ColourPop Mint to Be palette. Let me show you what it looked like last month. And this is what it's looking like today. As you can see, I decided to repress it. I could have just kept going and kept letting it fall apart on me, and I would have hit Pan much sooner. But I decided not to do that because I really do enjoy this shade. I made it a little bit more challenging for myself, but I'm more than willing to keep working on this one. It's super pretty, and every time I use it, I get so many compliments, and I just really love the color, and I feel like it's great for spring, so I don't mind keeping it around. That is that shade. The next shade that I was working on was Molly in the Masquerade palette by Juvia's Place. I will show you last month. And this is this month. I've got a big, beautiful, lovely pan happening. This shade was one of my absolute favorites to work on this month. It was so much fun. It was so pretty. This blue-green color palette that I had these past 2 months has honestly, I've kind of fallen in love with it, and I thought I would be tired of it by now, but genuinely I'm not. Never judge a shadow by its appearance in the palette. Judge it by its performance on your eye and your ability to whatever. Okay, I'm done. Oh my gosh, I haven't been saying my numbers. For Cleopatra, this dark shade, I used it 6 times this month, having me at 13 uses total, and it took me 13 uses to hit Pan. For Ice Cold, this shade right here, I used it 9 times this month, bringing me to 15 times total, and I'm still working on that. And then for this shade Molly, I used it 9 times this month, 19 times total, and it did take 19 uses to hit Pan. Yes, let's move on. Next we have this warm brown shade in the Fierce by Nature palette by Morphe. Let me show you what it looked like last month. And this is what it looks like this month. She's slow moving, fellas. She's a real slow mover. I've been using it as like a blush slash bronzer many days. I have used it 10 times this month, 19 times total, which is kind of crazy. I mean, look at that. I'm gonna keep using it. I don't mind it. It's fun to have. I think I would mind if I had not hit so many pans this month, but since I did, you know, it's just not a big deal to me. And it's pretty and it performs well, so, you know, we're chilling. The next shade that I have is Wall Street in the Day to Night palette by The Balm. Let me show you what that looked like last month. And this is this month. We've got Pan, everybody. We've got Pan. This shade was super fun to use. I used it 8 times this month, 22 times total, and it took me 21 uses total to hit Pan. This was really fun to use. I was thinking of getting rid of it recently, but I think I'm gonna keep it around for a little bit longer. I have some of the shades on my lid today. It's very like subtle, but also kind of shifty and fun, so I'm into it. That is that shade right here. And the last shade that I was working on comes from my Take Me to Brazil palette by BH Cosmetics. I will show you what that looked like last month. And this is this month. Big ol' pan, big ol' pan. Super soft shade, super soft shade, pretty shallow pan. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to use, and I really loved pairing it in combination with these like blues and greens. This one and these two together were just super fun, and I could honestly see myself going back to that kind of a look. I've used it 8 times this month, and that's how long it took to hit Pan. I was also using it as a blush sometimes, which was fun because it was very vibrant and cool. So yeah, this is one of those shades where after having hit Pan on it, I already know that I will be going back to it very often, and I feel like that doesn't happen to me that often. Probably 1 in every like 6 shades I'm like, ooh, okay, now I know that I really like this, and I'm gonna miss it, you know. We are happy about that. I hit 4 out of 6 pans this month. I knew I was gonna do well. I thought that I would have Pan on ice cold by this time, which would have been the case had I not repressed it, but that was my own decision. So I currently have 18 eyeshadow palettes, minus these equals 16. Oh, I have a scab on this hand. That's gonna be gross. Okay, whatever. This is our current color story from this. This could really go in any direction, so I'm excited. I have a random number generator, numbers 1 through 18. First number is 13, which is my Pastel Pup palette. Second number is 5, Venus 1. Third number is 8, which is the Warrior, which I pull in all the time, but it's fine. And the fourth number is 18, which is my brand spanking new Alchemy palette, again with the Kat Von D. First, we have the Pastel Pup by Menagerie Cosmetics. As you can see, I don't have the actual palette, but I do have most of the singles. I'm gonna just go ahead and consider these 9 to being the shades that I'm gonna be pulling from. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It's spring. No matter what comes up, I'm so excited. Now we are gonna pull a random number 1 through 9 to see which one of these lovely pastel shades we're gonna get. Number 6. Ooh! So another green, which, you know, I'm not mad about it. And all of these are super pretty, so soft. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. What is this shade called? I guess I should probably tell you that, huh? The shade is Ice Worm, and I am excited. The next palette that we have is my very old Venus 1 from Lime Crime, no mirror, and I'm actually a little bit nervous about this, so let's see. All right, I got number 5, which I'm immediately, I think I'm gonna opt out of it. I don't need it. I really can't think of any reason. Should I give it a shot? If I can use this 10 times this month, I will roll it out. That's how much I don't like using dark shades, but I am gonna keep it because A, it kind of goes with this color story right now, and B, the whole point of this, you know, Pan Those Eyeshadows thing is to challenge yourself and, you know, find ways to use your shadows. So I'm gonna do it. This shade is called Icon. The Lime Crime shades are very, very slow to work through, which is why I'm not even gonna pretend to try to hit pan on this, especially because it's a matte, but I will try to use it 10 times. I will do that, and that's something I can commit to. The next palette is The Warrior by Juvia's Place. This has been in this project so many times. I already have 3 pans in here, so we're only going to be pulling from 6 possible shades. 3. Oh, cool. Okay, so just this transition shade type thing. Yeah, so I can use that for a ton of different things, and I will be using that for a ton of different things. So honestly, like a little bit of a freebie, kind of, but not totally, because since it is a cooler tone, it's sort of like forces me to lean cooler, so I would sort of have to, like, you know, get rid of these warmer browns. But yes, and that shade is called Ahosi. Let me look up the pronunciation, hold on. I'm having a hard time finding the pronunciation. The Ahosi were the warrior women of the kingdom of Dahomey. If I'm not pronouncing that incorrectly, I guess I should be able to find that one. Let's see. Yes, the warriors of Dahomey. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed right now. This is like very much the same thing. And then from the last palette, it is the Alchemy palette by KVD / Kat Von. I almost said Kat Von Beauty. I love that you can't even really see it. It's got this really pretty iridescent packaging to it. Bought this at Marshall's in Chicago for like $7. And there's only 4 of them in here. It's kind of weird because it's like this, but then it opens like this, and the top is like this. So we only have 4 shades to choose from. We've got a kind of a greeny one, a bluey one, a purpley one, and a pinky one. So let's see what happens to us today. 4. Okay, fun. We got a pink one. It's called Pink Opal, or pink in parentheses, and then opal. So there's a lot of different ways to use this. It could be used as kind of a highlight shade, like even on the face, if you sheer it out, you can use it as a highlight, or an eyeshadow inner corner type pop of color or something like that. This reminds me a lot of this NYX highlight that I had back in high school after going dumpster diving with my sister and her friend behind the local Ulta. It was quite a find. We found a good amount of NYX eyeshadows and powders. Would not recommend, and I can't believe we did that because there are dangerous things in dumpsters sometimes. I will say, however, that I just absolutely hate consumer culture and the fact that it's like, well, if well, if no one's gonna buy this, no one gets it. And they started, I know that like at Sephora's and Ulta's, they started like breaking up their makeup so that people wouldn't dumpster dive and take things, which, I mean, that's much less of a problem than when that happens with actual like food and water, but it's just sort of representative of consumer culture as a whole. Anyway, I didn't mean to go there, but sorry, sometimes we just gotta go there. I am who I am. I feel what I feel. Okay, so this is our color palette. Uncomfortable isn't the word, but honestly, maybe that is the word. I think there's a very high chance that I will have no pan in the next video. What I am happy about, though, is that for these 4 palettes, every single one that I rolled in, I didn't have last month. So that was cool. I kind of thought I would be seeing some repeats. Here we are, folks. I was gonna post for a thumbnail, but then I realized I don't do thumbnails for these videos this year. I'm just doing those like backgrounds with just the collage of palettes so that I don't have to worry about posing cute for a thumbnail and for the quality to be really low, and it's just like one less thing to worry about in my life. Thank you so much for watching. This was a pretty big update, so I hope you just, if you're watching this in the future, first of all, what's it like out there? You know, tell me about it. But second of all, I don't even know what my point was. Anyway, thank you again so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope that you make an effort to spread some love and kindness today. Not to be cliche, but you know, I've got to say something a little cliche and kind of cringy at the end of every video. So yes, thank you again. If you haven't watched my other videos, please go ahead and do that. I would also love if you would subscribe to this channel. If you don't feel like subscribing, if that's too much commitment for you, that's okay. Just like watch a couple more of my videos so that way I'll be recommended in your thing a lot, and then it's like you don't have to feel like we're committed to each other, because I get that it can be hard to hit that subscribe button, but you know, we could be like casual acquaintances where I'll pop up every now and then and you can be like, oh, and I'll be like, hey, how have you been, you know, like that. Okay, all right, goodbye.